It's going to be INnoVation, their next choice to try to take out this guy. Look at his record versus Protoss, man. In Pro League, 6-0. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Okay, this would have been a 6-0 times better choice than sorry. Wanted the same matchup, but maybe didn't like the map.
Oh, man.
The map here is going to be Overgrowth, a map we've seen INnoVation do very well on in the past as well. So, Stats is going to have the work cut out for him here. This is not going to be an easy game. This is going to be a real tough, hard PvT he's going to play. This is not just, oh, they sent Sorry out. That's crazy. Let me just play a good style of Phoenixes where he can't drop me, shut that down, and then just beat him. Like, it's not going to be one of those games.
Yeah, Stats even in the chat, he was like, it's INnoVation. Oh, man, you're coming in here now. I got to face you. And pressure's on for Stats, but I feel like more pressure on INnoVation. He has to take down this Titan, whereas Stats, he's kind of already done his job. He has a lot of guys behind him, but of course he would like to get more and more wins. So he can play freely, confidently. He's taken 2 wins in a row. And I don't know, this is going to be an interesting one here on Overgrowth.
This is a big momentum swing either way. The winner of this match is going to get a huge rush of momentum, as these are essentially the 2 teams' best players.
I would agree with you there, Wolf. But guys, let's jump into game number 4 right now. The players are in their lobby, ready to go. It's going to be on Overgrowth between these 2 players. It's INnoVation and Stats. Jump into that game right now. Up here in the top right, in the orange for SK Telecom T1, it is INnoVation.
Down near the bottom left, in red for KT Rolster, it's Stats. Now has a much more difficult Terran opponent, but we'll be playing the same matchup twice in a row. And I'm feeling like we might see another SAV pull here, but a much more practical one, a much more INnoVation style one where he doesn't go Widow Mines necessarily, but just puts on a lot of heavy Marine, Marauder pressure, tries to force that Nexus cannon down, tries to force a lot of resources to be spent on defense, and then messes with the economy and has that tempo advantage. The robot play that we've seen from INnoVation. I want him to just do the robot. Okay?
Execute the program.
Exactly.
Do your job, robot. Just do it, man, because your team is in big need right now. He needs to take down Stats.
This is like right-click on the .exe file and run as administrator. Okay, this is what we need to see. I don't want to see the alpha or like the PTR INnoVation. Okay, I want to see like the polished product that everybody uses and everybody likes. Someone's been tested. By the way, INnoVation 62-38 here. Slightly favored, the first of a few we've seen since Dark.
Now, what do you think about that?
I myself actually favor Stats.
Yeah,
so
I would agree with you there. I think INnoVation had a great round 1, but he kind of fell off a little bit from his high throne. You know, he's not quite up there right now. And he's not like, I don't think he's at 100% right now. Whereas Stats, I think he is.
SK fans from around the world. But yeah, I agree with you completely. Part of the reason why I think we see this distribution of percentages is because INnoVation is just simply more popular in Korea than Stats.
Yeah,
and I would say it's actually worldwide.
I think, just because Stats, I think he deserves a lot more popularity. There was a time when people were like, oh my god, this guy's so underrated. Why don't people know more about him? But then even after he wasn't underrated, he's still like not that popular, which is pretty funny because he's also like got a decent personality. Like we've even seen it in some of the round of 16 group selections for SSL, but definitely more deserving of some more attention, I think, this Protoss player.
There's so many players like that, actually. And players that have a dominant period usually get that like, I guess, elite status.
Oh, you got tricked.
That was so close. That was a huge move there by Stats. Well, we are going to see CC first into double barracks. No third barracks yet. Doesn't look like we're going to see one, actually. If we do, it's going to be like right now. And it looks like he's just going to transition instead off of just 2 barracks. So Oh, no, okay.
Oh,
He just wants to build it with the SCV that's next to those barracks so he can save the mining time of the other ones.
Yeah, maybe just get consistent production as well out of some of his other buildings.
Yeah, it's just not like the most efficient way to make the barracks quickly, but it will save him a little bit of minerals overall, so it's going to be fine. It's going to slow down like one Marine slightly. Spread those depots out in the main base to get vision. Doesn't want to get 7 gate of Warp Prism all in or anything like that and just die.
And just like you said, this is kind of what we expected out of INnoVation, just a bit of aggressive play. The thing about this play is also that you can put on some pressure towards your Protoss opponent. You can say, okay, use your Nexus Cannon. I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to take map control. But also it's very safe against stuff like Blink. We already see a Twilight Council coming down here for stats. Could be just a bit of a defensive, more of a transitionary Blink, where you go into Blink straight into Robo and you don't really commit to it all that much. But it still does open that option for stats to go aggressive with this Blink, and three racks is a great build against that.
It really is. You're going to have a ton of units powered out. 2 more gates with this. Just, going into those standard 3 gates. Let's see how many, how much he commits to that, how many Stalkers he actually warps in before he starts, looking to take that 3rd base. With just 5 Marines versus 2 Stalkers out and a Mothership Core, I don't think this is going to do any damage at all. Even if he runs by, good micro will shut this down pretty hard. Needs to pull those probes, though. Actually, unlucky probe spawning right in the middle of this fight. Gets 1.
These Marines trying to get another. They do, actually. 3. Wow. Okay, so 5 Marines for 3 probes.
Kind of worth it. Kind of worth it.
Not a bad trade.
Like, I feel like it was a really, really even trade. Now, we've seen Stats do this before, by the way, where after something like this, he actually just goes hard and adds gates as he's poking and just wins the game. Like, this is a poke that he's about to do, not an all-in, so don't panic, people at home. If you're like, oh, he's already got bunker up, he's just gonna die. No, it's just a little poke. He wants to kill some SCVs. He's got a Robo on the way. If he sees blood in the water and he starts killing those bunkers, he starts killing too many Marines, then maybe, yeah, he adds more gates and finishes the game, but it's gonna be tough to do. Already going to be 4 Marines in this bunker. He needs to pull SCVs to repair, though, and he's not doing so.
He's going to pull them now, but already that bunker taking a lot of damage. Okay, he's going to get the repair, but some SCVs coming down here. And just once again, very smart play out of INnoVation. He's going to make that 2nd bunker just to be safe. I guess that scan actually came down, and he saw that the Blink was coming in here, so that would make more sense as to why he did put down that 2nd bunker. I thought it was just he was playing very safe, but
this is why Blink is so good on this map, because you can Blink over here from the 3rd base. And he doesn't want to commit too many units here, because if he does, he's just going to blink right over. He's losing so many SCVs, though. I feel like he could have pulled a lot safer. Just going to blink back individually here, killing as many Marines as he can. Ooh, going to get 1 more even. Nice. And this is where suddenly Stats might just say, you know what, I've got all these gases up now. Could add a 4th and 5th gate. He's definitely thinking about it. We've seen him do it before. Another Marine goes down. Another Marine goes down. Blinks away.
He's just having like such efficient trades here with Blink. This is what you could do, especially when you get ahead. Looks like instead of putting on that extreme gateway pressure, he's just going to stick here with about 9 Stalkers, do more and more damage while he transitions into Colossi, and eventually come with a bigger, stronger, more tech-heavy timing push a little bit later in the game.
Yep. 42 to 33 workers right now. And don't forget, all those Marines lost is so important. Units lost, 1,200 to 150 right now.
Wow.
Almost 10 times as many lost. He's going to try to get a Marauder here. Does. Almost kills a Marine as well during all this. This is mostly just for shields. I know you guys can't see those hit point bars, and don't blame me for it, but and please don't get upset when I say these things. I'm actually not teasing you guys. I'm just telling you. I mean, this has just been such efficient trading. And at this point, INnoVation is going to be so frustrated, because even with the starport coming up, it's so late that by the time he moves that drop across, he's probably going to be already set up. And he has Blink Stalkers, a lot of them, so that's somewhat of a risk even in itself to send medevacs across the map when you're kind of contained a little bit like this, where you have SCVs off the line even repairing bunkers.
Look at this. It looks like Stats is going to try to go for a 3rd base and maybe just go for a little bit of a light contain here on INnoVation. Just try to keep him on 2 bases for as long as possible, keep him scared.
Yep, he checks for drops, too, with an Observer first, and is very careful about taking that Nexus. He doesn't want a drop to just swoop in and kill it while it's low on health. Finally, we do see one of those bunkers salvaged at the front. 2nd starport coming up here, so I think he's really planning on pulling the boys, man. He's doing the robot. Saying, no matter what you're doing, I'm just going to eventually pull the boys and kill you, or try to. Lazy boy or die trying, man. That's INnoVation's album.
Pretty much. We've got a decent amount of bio here. I think Stats has to be very careful, especially with +1 done, as well as Stim. And concussive shells coming in here as well for the Terran.
Didn't find that pylon, unfortunately. Oh, he did, but he didn't see it, looks like.
Some more trading going on in the middle of the map.
Yeah, gets a Marine and damages a few more of these units, forces a big Stim. He wants to do this as many times as he can before those units actually hit his third base. So he can slow it down, pick some units off, have Colossus range ready. He already has 2 Colossi. Actually going to get supply blocked here with that pylon's death, unfortunately.
Yeah, Stats is powering up pretty heavily, actually. I think he's going up to 8 gates. Can you actually confirm that for me?
Yep, you're exactly right.
He's going up to 8 gates. He's got some upgrades on the way. He, of course, has those Colossi out here. Fortunately, taking some damage there. 2 Stalkers going down.
Yeah, I think he was like going back at home and doing some of that powering up you were talking about, chrono boosting a lot, trying to make sure he has his range out in time for this attack, which isn't going to be a big commitment yet, actually. But he might be fearing that it is as he sees his units move across the map. He does have an observer kind of floating on top of this, so he's probably wondering right now, where's the rest of your army? Is it at your main? Is it coming into a drop? He doesn't know exactly. In this case, it's just sitting as natural, and he's hiding it. He's hiding these Vikings as best as he can. He probably scouted already, or rather scanned to make sure there was no observer here. So he's feeling pretty comfortable, like, okay, he doesn't know how many Vikings I'm committing to. We're going to see that pull here, I think, as soon as he gets a few more waves of Vikings. Yep. There's no third base.
I think it has to be here. No third CC. He's stopping at 46 SCVs. This is pretty much like the pattern, man. Just make as many Vikings as possible now. But I feel like Stats already, he knows about this. I mean, he's getting Immortals out. He's stopped at 3 Colossi. He's getting Charge, as well. He's going to have a huge number of Zealots coming out, and I think he's going to be totally prepared. He's almost done too much damage here early on in the game.
If he, well, he's messed up INnoVation's program. Like, he's removed some files from the registry. Okay, like if he can get a few Archons out here, there's no way this push is going to work if he can get a few Archons out. How many Vikings does he want to make here? He needs to go soon. Okay, he's going with 14 Vikings with these next 4 when they pop out. Here come the SCVs. Stats has 2 sources of vision on the map to see this coming. Taking that Marine out.
He's going to have Archons. He's going to have Immortals. He's going to have Charge and Blink. But, of course, the fight does matter here. He needs to take a good engagement still. Keep that Militia Corps alive.
He's not want to be fighting at his third base if he can help it, actually. Okay, well, this is one way you can fight at his third. Look at that Time Warp! And where are the Vikings going? They're not going where they want to go. Those Stalkers blink to let the Zealots come in. And there's not a lot of kiting going on underneath this Time Warp. Vikings are doing a lot of damage, though, to those Colossi. They fall very quickly.
Stats did not pull his probes. He's taking a lot of damage. Okay, some Zealots come in actually from the left side.
That's
this is just way too much Protoss, man.
INnoVation looking like a robot again here. Well, this robot has been rusted. This robot is out of commission, man, out of service. That is going to be it. Doubling his supply now. And boom, blinks, targets the Medivacs. INnoVation is D-O-N-E, done. And Stats going to put his team into a 3-1 lead. GG.
KT Rolster off the back of Stats, 3 wins in a row. And just looking unstoppable, man. He can take it out anyone at this moment in time. He is just on a roll. Playing with such confidence there with the Blink play. INnoVation losing 5 of his Marines very early on. And just not having enough to deal with the Blink play. The Blink pressure, I should say, of Stats. It wasn't an all-in. It wasn't like he was committing to that super heavily. He only made like 9 Stalkers. He stopped there, but he just did too much damage.
He killed way too many units. Yeah. It's not about killing SCVs, which is a common misconception of this matchup, I feel. On maps like this especially, against players who want to do timing attacks. Imagine if he had like 6 more Marauders and however many more Marines he lost, like 15, 16, so maybe even up to 20 Marines he lost. That's so many more units he would have had when he pulled his SCVs. Might have been able to if he could have pushed that back, take a third base and pull even more SCVs and have a larger economy, have larger groups of reinforcements. I feel like he didn't have that many Marauders because he made so many Vikings, 4 Vikings at a time for so long off of just 2 bases with no extra mineral income from a third. I mean, that's only 400 extra minerals that he's got from not making a third CC. Whereas Stats had his third base up for so long, and the time warp he had was beautiful as well. I just feel like INnoVation has, to a certain extent, when you watch these games, you just feel like he's been solved.
Yeah.
I mean, we say this all the time. He plays the same. Like, you and I could have cast a game with our eyes closed and we told you exactly what INnoVation was going to do. And Stats as well, even though he's not ready.
You called it before the game got past like 8 workers. You literally said what was going to happen, and that exact thing happened regardless of what Stats did. Yeah. It's very apparent at this point.
You know, that's the thing about playing somebody like this against Stats, because Stats is not prepared for INnoVation necessarily. He's like taking this one step at a time. Okay, I'm going to kill Dark. Okay, who's next? Oh, sorry, that's weird. Okay, that's like probably more stressful for Stats almost in a way. And then INnoVation comes out and he's like, okay, I just got to do exactly what I always do on this map, pressure him, and, you know, remove some of the screws, take the batteries out, okay, and then INnoVation doesn't work anymore.
Take the batteries
Take
out,
the
short
batteries
circuit
out,
him.
man.
Yeah, the INnoVation there just not looking so good. He took too much damage, and this puts SKT in a terrible position. Guys, they're down 1-3, but before we get to more games, a 10-minute break. We'll be right back.